Hey, what's up, everybody? Friday, November 8th, TGIF. Was a good week. New record highs in the stock market. So, let's talk about what's going on. You know, I gotta tell you that working with people over these years, I mean, it has become crystal clear to me, why most people don't achieve success in trading. And probably, I would say it probably would apply to their lives in general. But if I were to isolate something, if you were to ask me, like, Mike, what is the one thing? What is the one thing that keeps people from realizing their goals, or let's say from becoming successful in trading? I would say that the one thing was impatience. It's not the system, it's not the methodology, it's not the analysis. I've been all over that so many times. Like I say, I could throw darts at a dartboard and make money. But very few people can do that, because that's the mental aspect of this game, which is what it's really all about. In the past, I've equated what we do here as traders and investors to high-level athletes. And I think even a closer analogy would be fighters, because, you know, this can be a very tough pursuit, and sometimes it can hurt. Here it hurts emotionally, mentally, in the gut. I mean, as fighters, physically you can get hurt. But the key difference is, the key element, the common element between those two things, and again, high-level athletes, is the mental game, that mental toughness, that resilience, that burning desire to win. Like, I don't teach take losses as a path to success. I don't even think that is possible. But that is considered the prudent way to go about it. To me, it seems very imprudent to lose as a strategy to achieve success. I believe in taking action and then managing that action. But getting back to my first point, like, having dealt with so many people now over these years that I've been mentoring and helping people out and producing my research, to me it's pretty clear that the number one thing is impatience. And that could manifest in several different ways. I mean, number one, the obvious way that it could manifest is that people want money right away. They want to come into this business and make $1 zillion next week, right away. They want these trades, boom, to be big and, one after another, frequent. And that is not a realistic scenario. That is not a realistic expectation. The other way that they could manifest impatience, and both of these things are really tied together, is by over trading, in the sense of taking too large a position. The reason they take too large a position is, again, they want that big money right away. They cannot wait to build up over time a significant balance in their trading account. They want that money right away. Boom. Now, all this really equates to gambling. I mean, it's worse than gambling, because in some gambling pursuits, it's mathematical. Like in blackjack, there are card counters. So they reduce the game down to probabilities. Some things are totally random. But for the most part, when you're dealing with markets and you are narrowing the conditions in which you allow yourself to make money, you are removing the probabilities that would lie in your favor. Now, the greatest thing or the greatest element, the biggest element that would put probabilities in your favor is time. Because markets move around, and a large part of the movements are basically random, they're noise. So given a period of time, even in a bad position, you will be afforded the opportunity to trade out of that position. Now, you might have to manage it a little bit, and that might mean averaging the position so that it gives you a better chance of trading out of it. But that time absolutely works in your favor. Now, when you overtrade, when you are impatient, when you remove the element of time, which is a benefit to you, when you take that away, that's an asset. When you take it away, you reduce your chances of success. When you take too large a position, because again, you are impatient and you want big money right away. You come into the game, very little experience. You want big money right away. Otherwise, it's not interesting for you. Again, you remove the element of time. So this is the biggest thing that I see. The other things, if you were to ask me what's a list of things that cause people to self-sabotage, I would say overly emotional, framing what is happening in the markets in your head in a very, very negative or pessimistic way, in a scary way, so that you literally scare yourself into losses. Like how many times I've had so many people, and I've done videos about this, who sell out or buy at exactly the wrong time. I mean, if you go back to last November, a year ago, when the market started going into a correction, and it was a steep correction. We had November, we had December, all the way until, Christmas Eve, when we had a big drop. I saw people bailing out, panicking. I said, buy into that dip, buy into the dip. I don't remember how low we got in the S&P. Maybe it was 2,600 or something like that. I don't remember, but it was way down. And I was telling people to buy into that dip, everything that you needed to look at in terms of barometers that gauge what was happening in the economy, demand, that sort of stuff that would give you an indication of what the real economy is doing. And ultimately, the stock market's going to follow the real economy, because the stock market will rise as corporate profits rise. Corporate profits rise when the economy is in good shape and it's growing. Buy into that dip. People not only sold out, they became so angry and so frustrated, sold out at the exact bottom. I had just recently another guy, probably back in August. Same thing happened. Stayed with the position, wasn't working. Now we're talking about maybe something that he held for a year. And for a lot of you, I would say most of you, that is like an eternity. But there again is an example of the problem. If you look at a year as an eternity, and we're talking about stocks, we're not talking about holding a futures contract or a Forex contract, and even that, because we're trading with a macro understanding of what's going to happen. And these things play out over long periods of time. And I've used the example in the past of Warren Buffett, who said he won't even get into a stock or an investment unless he feels he can hold it for at least 5 years. So that guy got frustrated. That guy got angry. That guy sold out at the exact bottom. Allowing his emotions to take control of his activities. Again, we come down to behavior. It's all about behavior. I've said it so many times. But it's easier said than done. Look, I could sit here, I could make a million videos, I could talk about MMT. People come to me because they're excited about MMT. They say, oh Mike, we heard so much about MMT, and now it makes so much logical sense, and I see how mainstream economics has everything wrong, and how the media has it wrong, and CNBC and all these other outlets, they have it completely wrong. And now I have this incredible knowledge and this incredible understanding of the monetary system and how it works. That doesn't automatically translate into success. If you don't have the mental aspect together, you're not going to be able to have the patience to sit with a position, to not get scared out of it when it's not going your way because of noise or because of some headline reaction in the marketplace. You're not going to be able to do that. It doesn't matter how good your information is. Look, I've explained to you and I've shown to you. I made video. I have a whole course that shows, for example, the daily treasury statement. I mean, if you understand that, how many times have I said that's the checkbook of the United States government? You're literally looking at trillions of dollars of flows in and out. You won't be able to use that to make money unless you have the mental aspect in place. That's what it's all about. It's easy to say, but for a lot of people it's very hard to do. And the reason it's very hard to do for these people is because they just don't want to put in the time. They don't want to put in the effort. They're searching for the system fairy. They want to make money tomorrow. Lots and lots of, we all do. Look, we all do. I can understand that. But it's not a realistic goal. You got to build it up. And if you're serious about building it up, it can be done. But you have to be serious about it. All right, everybody, have a great weekend. See you back here on Monday. Bye-bye.